from fiochet.com, vegan health coach, author and conscious consumer. Now today I thought what I would do is make some bacon, B-A-C-U-N, so the vegan version of bacon, which a lot of people when they first go vegetarian or vegan, they find it quite difficult to ditch the bacon for some reason. So what we're going to do is I'll show you starting off by doing the marinade first and then cooking it. So this is really healthy, much better for you, and the flavor is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So what I've done is that I've started with tempeh, and you can buy tempeh in different brands. It depends on what you've got. Here in New Zealand we have Tonsu, which is an organic tempeh. The beauty of tempeh to tofu is that tempeh has still got the soybeans in it, so there's actually more nutrition because it is way less processed. What you have to understand is that tofu is a process that the soybeans go through in order to get that. It's still good for you, but the nutrition value is probably halved because of it. So tempeh is really brilliant. Now I only use a little bit, and so I have actually already used some of this, and then this has been sitting in my freezer. So what I'm going to do is just do some slices of the tempeh, and you want it to be relatively thin, but not too thin that it's going to break. So hopefully we'll be able to get through this because it is still, as I said, frozen. So we're kind of looking at about crooked. It's crooked, but hey, you know, this is me. I'm a random grandma. So yeah, it's a bit crooked, but that's all right. So just popping that in the dish. This is for my dinner tonight, and I don't have I am on my own, so I don't have a family. So I'm just going to put in probably about 4 slices. But your marinade, etc., will be the same no matter how many, how many people you're cooking for. So with a bit of luck, this is going to work. All right, that last bit, probably a bit thicker than what it should be, but that's all right. So I've just laid them in my dish. This will go back into the freezer for next time. So yeah, if you do live on your own or you're cooking for one, then you can save meals. You can actually make up more and then just freeze it. Look, even if you have a family, make up double the quantity and freeze the excess, because then what you've got is that you have got some food for later in the week. All right, so we're going to start with, first of all, with apple cider vinegar, of which I haven't got that much left, but it's there. And we need to have 1/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. If you have got more, if you're putting more tempeh in, more slices of tempeh, then obviously you can always double the recipe. But there will be the recipe will be down below this video. So the next thing we're going to do is tamari sauce. I personally prefer tamari sauce to soy. That's just my preference. I believe that it is lower in salts, etc. But yeah, I do prefer the tamari. One of these days I will actually find out the difference between them. I do know it, but you know, it goes out of my head. So what we need is 3 tablespoons of tamari sauce. Normally I would just do all of this by sight, but I'm going to do it the proper way. Most of my things that I do are literally by sight. So now the next thing we are going to do is, sorry, I'm just going to rinse that off. I am back. Is a teaspoon of tomato paste. And you know, get a good tomato paste if you can. This is an organic tomato paste, a really nice, quite flavorful too, which is good. So I mean, that's a fair dollop of tomato paste, so that goes in. So I'm just going to start to kind of stir this up so that we get it blended and mixed. There's no oil in this one. I've deliberately done this. I try and, like, the less oil I can use, the better, for health reasons, but you know, for the healthy food. But if you are eating oil, then by all means put oil in if you want to. Okay, so now we're going to do a quarter of a I don't know which is which. That must be half, so that must be quarter. We're going to do a quarter of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Again, not being that pedantic about it, just will go in. And the last thing we're going to put in is the magic ingredient. And that is liquid smoke. This is a hickory liquid smoke. And this is kind of what gives it the bacon flavor, that sort of smoky thing. Honestly, it reminds me of bacon when I was a kid, because the bacon that we used to have when I was a kiddie was actually done like properly smoked and properly. It wasn't kind of factory processed, to put it that way. So we need a quarter of a teaspoon of liquid smoke. And that's about it. And that's it. That's all the ingredients you need. So we're just going to mix this up. Get it as mixed up as possible. Like, it's really more the powder that is, you know, the garlic powder. You could use garlic if you wanted to. I just prefer to use the garlic powder because it's then there's no residue of the garlic kind of left or lingering on top of the pieces of tempeh. Now all I'm going to do now is just pour this in. I'll pour this over the top. Voila, easy peasy. And I will get one of these tongs and just turn them over. Just make sure that they are turned right. So they're well covered. They are actually covered. I think you can kind of, you know, see that. And so now I will put a cover on it. You know, just a plain plate. Actually, I'll turn it that way. It looks better. And then I'm just going to leave that. And, you know, it probably won't need turning because it is totally covered. But if you have got ones that where the liquid isn't quite covering the top, then I would suggest that you turn it, say, like every half an hour. So the time here at the moment is just gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so this is just going to marinate away for the rest of the afternoon until I'm actually ready. There's no time frame on it. You can marinate for as little as, say, about half an hour, preferably an hour beforehand. But it's the sort of thing that if you prep it in the morning before you go out for your day, and then it's all ready when you come home at night. And especially as this is frozen, so it will thaw as well. It'll be all ready. So we will see you soon. If you can't already tell, it is now nighttime, and because it is in New Zealand and we've finished daylight saving, it is dark, even though it's still quite early-ish. So now I'm going to prepare the bacon and get it into the oven to cook. So I have my pieces here still in the marinade, and I am now, and they're beautifully soaked through, which is really, really nice. So just pop them onto a baking sheet, And you know, you don't have to be too fussy about taking all the marinade off. So I'm just going to pop them on like that. And then the last one. I'm actually going to keep that marinade because it's quite good, and you know, it will hold in the fridge for a few more days. So I may want to use it with more tempeh or with tofu or something like that, or something else. I may even put vegetables in it and then roast the vegetables. So you know, that's a perfectly good marinade to have. It's going to be lovely. You can sweeten it up with a little bit of maple syrup if you want, but it is, yeah, it's still very, very usable. So I'll just pop these in. These go in the oven at, I've got the oven on at 200 degrees Celsius, or I think that's around about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, if my memory serves me correctly. So we'll pop those in the oven and let them cook away. And in the meantime, what I have got, because it's Friday night here and it's like a quick meal night for me tonight, what I do have is I have some grain bread, which I got, and where's my knife? I've got some really nice grain bread, and so what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put on some vegan cheese. Normally I make my own, but I get lazy every so often, and I go and buy some. This is a really, really good one. It's Sheese, Sheese. It is. It's actually from the UK, I think. Made in Scotland. There you go. It's made in Scotland, but it is a really nice brand, and it's a nice cheese. This one is a red cheddar. And it holds well in the fridge as well. So this one I am just going to slice up some cheese, and this will be, I will pop this into the oven probably about, maybe about kind of just under 10 minutes before I'm ready to take the bacon out. I should actually, okay, so I've taken the time. And I will let you know how long that bacon takes to cook. It shouldn't take all that long, to be perfectly honest. It usually doesn't, but it depends on how crispy you like it. One downside of this cheese is that it does stick to the knife. Hopefully I have got enough to do both pieces. I should do. This particular one is a good one because it is nice and melty, and you will see it at the end when I put all of this together. So you can kind of add anything you like to this, but this is just, as I said, it's a Friday night, it's a quick meal. It's look, you know, it's my version of takeaway. I would rather have this than have a takeaway. So I'll just leave that sitting there, and I will also prepare some other vegetables that I'm going to have with it. Now I've got the bacon and the bread out of the oven. It's taken probably just over the 20-minute mark to do the whole lot, so that's really not that long at all. The bread, I'm actually only going to have one piece because I'm not really a big eater anyway. So I have prepared, while that was cooking, I prepared a little salad, just some lettuce, some tomatoes, beetroot, and of course my parsley, which I have with knocked myself out there. Absolutely, why not? I have parsley with everything. So I'm just going to have one piece of the bread. As you can see, it fills up the plate anyway, and I will put just 2 bacon bits on there. The other one I will put on here, and tomorrow I will be able to heat this up just quite quickly in the oven, and that will be fine. Now, I know this is actually really hot, so I'm just going to slide this to one side so that you can see what I'm doing here. And now I have prepared some avocado, which is again fabulous. Love avocado and bacon just goes so beautifully well. Love it. Now the bread itself is it's a full lots of different grain bread, and I do know that there is salt in it, so I'm not actually going to add any more salt. And that's pretty much it. For a Friday night quick meal, you have got fats, you've got protein, you've got your carbs, you've got everything there that you absolutely need, and there it is. So that is my bacon, my vegan bacon and vegan cheese, piece of bread. I don't know, can't really call it it's not really a burger because there's no lid on it. I don't know. If you have any ideas of names, what you would call this, just maybe make a comment down below. But that's it. That's my Friday night meal. So have amazing food, plant-based of course, and show compassion to all animals, including humans, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.